Welcome back to STON Talk. Today, I've got Wale and James with me. And I've got to be honest, when I first saw this update from STON Foundation, my reaction wasn't excitement, it was confusion. Because I looked at it and thought, okay, transparency page, cool. Then I sat there for about 30 seconds wondering if I actually knew what happens to protocol fees.
You know what's funny, Praiz? I think that's probably most people. Everybody likes hearing words like transparency and governance. But if you stop someone randomly and ask them where protocol fees actually go, most people are suddenly very quiet.
Facts. Half the people would probably start explaining liquidity. The other half would suddenly remember they have somewhere to be.
Exactly. And that's why I thought this was actually worth talking about. Because STON Foundation just launched a page where anyone can track protocol fee conversions into STON and GEMSTON. And apparently this follows what the DAO community approved. Now, James, let me start with you. Why should anybody care? Because if I'm a normal user swapping tokens on STON.fi, I'm probably not waking up in the morning thinking about protocol fees.
And that's fair. Most users shouldn't have to think about protocol fees every day. The same way most people don't think about how a bank operates behind the scenes. You just use the service. But the moment a project says, here's exactly what's happening and you can verify it yourself, I think that changes the conversation.
See, Wale, that's the part that caught my attention. Because crypto talks a lot about transparency. Everybody says they're transparent. Everybody says they care about the community. But showing people the information is different.
Exactly. Anybody can tweet about transparency. That's easy. Building a public page where people can actually track what's happening is a different thing entirely. And honestly, I think that's where a lot of projects struggle.
How so?
Because transparency sounds great until people can actually see everything. Then suddenly teams become uncomfortable.
Yeah, everybody loves transparency until transparency starts being transparent.
That's actually true. Nobody minds transparency when it's just a buzzword.
Exactly. But this is where DAOs become interesting, because this wasn't just some random decision somebody made behind closed doors. The community voted on this. The community approved it. Now, there's a public way to see the execution. That's a pretty important difference.
You know what, James? That's actually the part I think people overlook. Everyone gets excited about voting. Nobody gets excited about what happens after the vote.
100%. People love governance discussions, but governance isn't just about making decisions. It's about following through on those decisions.
Wale, do you think regular users care enough about this stuff? Be honest.
Honestly, not yet. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Most users are focused on their experience. They're focused on swapping. They're focused on farming. They're focused on whatever they're doing that day. But over time, I think people start paying more attention to how projects operate, especially when they become long-term community members.
So you're saying the longer people stay, the more these things matter.
Exactly. Because eventually you stop asking, what can this platform do for me? And you start asking, how does this platform actually work?
And that's where transparency becomes valuable, because trust is important, but verification is even better.
That's a bar right there. Trust is important, but verification is even better.
I'm stealing that for Twitter later.
At least give me credit when you do.
No promises.
He's definitely posting it before the episode is over.
I already know. But jokes aside, I think this update highlights something bigger. We're seeing more conversations around accountability. We're seeing more conversations around governance. And we're seeing more users wanting to understand what happens behind the scenes.
And honestly, that's a healthy thing, because the more informed a community becomes, the stronger the ecosystem becomes.
Exactly. And whether you're somebody who checks the transparency page every day or somebody who never opens it at all, the fact that it's there is probably the important part, because now the information isn't hidden, it's available. And that's ultimately what transparency is supposed to look like.
Couldn't have said it better.
Same here.
All right, guys, before we wrap up, I want to hear from both of you. One sentence. Wale, what's your biggest takeaway?
Transparency means more when users can verify it themselves.
James?
Governance doesn't end when the vote passes. That's when the real work starts.
I like both of those. And that's where we'll leave today's discussion. We'll catch you all in the next episode of STON Talk.